Welcome to the Enjoy a Better World video podcast. This is Ron Moorfield, and I'll be your host for today's video. It's part one of the several podcast series on the human energy field. In this series, you'll learn the basics about how the human energy field works. You'll get just the information you need to understand future podcasts without burying you in a bunch of detail. And you'll be able to find additional information at enjoyabetterworld.com. Today's discussion is about the link between scientific thought and the human energy field. It's really important to understand that the human energy field isn't a lot of hocus pocus. It actually fits nicely with modern scientific thinking. By and large, the human mind takes the approach of an ostrich concerning the energy that it doesn't perceive. If it can't be perceived, then it's not important. For example, electromagnetic energy was certainly important 500 years ago. After all, there was sunlight and heat, but people really didn't frame their thoughts about it in energetic terms. In fact, at one time the sun was thought of as a god instead of a big ball of energy. But in the last 100 years or so, we've built a lot of machines that extend our ability to perceive energies that were previously invisible. And now we can use infrared pictures, ultraviolet pictures, radio waves, and lots of other tools to show energy that many people believe just didn't exist. So we become accustomed to electromagnetic and other forms of energy, at least the forms that we can manipulate and measure. But people remain skeptical about energy that they can't perceive, either directly or through electronic instruments. And it's kind of funny because many people remain skeptics, even when the new technologies give us the ability to see things that we never saw before, like the energy fields of people who have passed on, and the human bioenergetic aura. For a lot of people, this new ability to perceive human bioenergy is still pretty far out there. So let's bring it closer by taking a minute or two to talk about energy from a physics point of view. I believe that most people think of physics from a Newtonian point of view. That's the viewpoint taught at the high school level, and it's the viewpoint visible to our ordinary senses. Isaac Newton gave us what might be called the marble theory of physics. Objects and planets are thought of as being like marbles in the three-dimensional playing field of space, and they move around when acted on by forces like gravity. Well, as knowledge of atoms emerged, the marble theory of planets naturally brought about the marble theory of atoms. I'm sure everyone is familiar with the basic idea of electrons orbiting a central nucleus made up of protons and neutrons. But all that took a dramatic turn in the early 1900s, and particularly around 1920, when Erwin Schrödinger introduced the idea that the microscopic atomic marbles could also be mathematically represented as waves. And Albert Einstein showed the relationship between matter and energy in the famous equation E=mc². This was a huge shift from a static marble view to a vibrational possibility view. And today, modern string theory investigates vibrational properties and energetic interactions of the most subtle, multidimensional subatomic building blocks of existence. Now take a second to think about what this really means. The view of the world that modern physics has is that at the most fundamental level, existence consists of subtle vibrational and energetic interactions among multidimensional constituents. And those constituents form denser constituents known as quarks. Quarks form denser subatomic particles. They in turn form denser electrons, protons, and neutrons. They in turn form denser atoms. They in turn form denser molecules, and they in turn form cars, TVs, rocks, water, fish, animals, and people. And that means that human beings consist of denser and denser forms of energy manifesting from subtle, multidimensional, constantly interacting vibrational constituents that contain power and, more importantly, vibrational properties or information. We're really fields of energy interacting with other fields of energy. That's what a totally scientific, materialistic physics point of view tells us. But what physics can't tell us yet is how those ultra-tiny vibrating strings figure out how to become atoms, molecules, rocks, and people. The really amazing thing is that the view of the human body being built from subtle energetic constituents that become denser has been known for thousands of years and is depicted in artifacts from the time of the pharaohs and even earlier. In fact, it's the basis of ancient forms of healing, yoga, and martial arts. In Chinese medicine, the building block energy of the universe is known as qi. It goes by other names like ki, prana, and mana in other cultures. But despite the different names, the energetic structures and the functions in the body are extremely similar from one culture to another. And in the next podcast, we'll discuss the manifestation of this qi in human beings. So long for now. For more information about energy medicine and other topics, check out www.enjoyabetterworld.com.
Άρχισες να λείπεις ξαφνικά.